Hi my lovies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new one for me. It's an exciting one because I'm starting a new series. I haven't done a series in a long time. I think like Dupe or Don't is like my latest one. So I don't have a name for the series or anything like that. You guys can maybe name it if you want it in the comment section. But it's just to kind of help you guys with your biggest makeup mistakes or your biggest makeup kind of mishaps, annoying things that happen to you with your makeup, and I'm going to try and solve them. So the first one that I got, and I got so many Snapchat requests for this, was how to prevent makeup from budging off your nose throughout the day. This was an awful issue for me a couple of years back until I kind of developed a very good routine with my makeup and even skincare, and it stopped it happening lately. So I thought I would make a video on this. Hopefully I'll help you guys. I'm going to go through all the steps that I take to avoid makeup rubbing off around my nose, or particularly in here, because I wear glasses when I'm driving and stuff like that, and I find that here the makeup rubs off and it is just a hot mess. So I've come up with my own little routine to try and avoid that happening. So let's skip on into the video and find out how I stop my makeup from rubbing off around my nose. Okay, so before we start with any of the makeup, I just want to talk a little bit about skin prep. Problem with when makeup is rubbing off around your nose is usually because there could be different textures on your nose. Obviously your nose is the thing that sticks out the most off your face, so you touch it more, it rubs off different things. I always find if you make sure that the texture on your nose is as even as possible, the foundation tends to last a little bit longer. So I use something like a little wash, like this is a glycolic scrub. I just literally scrub it around my nose. It also helps to deep clean my nose, removes any blackheads, and kind of evens out the texture on my skin. Sometimes I even get a bit of dryness around my nose depending on the time of year. Even though I'm still oily, I still have those complaints. But definitely using a wash that's a little bit more deep cleaning once or twice a week is no harm, and it will help to remove any dead skin cells and like even out the texture on your nose. The next thing I want to talk about is moisturizing. Whether you're oily or dry, combo, whatever your skin type is, you have to moisturize. The one that I use is not one that I recommend you run out and get because it's quite expensive. It has edibonone in it, which is one of the highest strength antioxidants, but I will write down a couple of my other favorite moisturizers down below. Okay, so moisturize your face before you apply anything, but don't moisturize and then apply primer straight away and then apply foundation. I recommend letting each product kind of set on the skin for a couple of minutes before moving on to the next step. So next, moving on to priming. I'm going to prime my entire face with this. It's the NYX Photo Loving Primer. I'm going to apply this around the circumference of my face, kind of avoiding my nose area, just here and just the tip obviously. Next, I'm going to prime my nose, and this primer is a godsend for me. If it wasn't for this primer, I'd say my foundation would be wearing off my nose constantly. It is the Nude Magic Blur Cream from L'Oreal. This primer is so similar to the Professional. You can probably see a little bit there. You don't need that much. It's kind of colored as well, but it is amazing at filling in pores and evening out texture. So what I do is I just apply that to my nose. You can probably already see that it's almost blurring out my nose as well. Now you'll notice that I am tapping it into my nose. I'm not rubbing it onto my nose because I do find that the tapping kind of gets it right into the pores and then stops my foundation from budging later on. I'm just going to apply it to my entire nose area, especially inside my eyes here as well, because sometimes we forget to prime there, and leave it to set. This is kind of an important step. I don't recommend going straight in now with your foundation. If you go in with your foundation now, you're going to move the primer all over the place and it's not going to do its job because it needs to kind of settle into your pores. So next I'm going to move on to foundation. Now whether your foundation is high coverage, medium coverage, low coverage, whatever it is, I'm going to still demonstrate how you can avoid it rubbing off. The type of coverage you're looking for in your foundation or that you're getting from your foundation has nothing to do with it transferring. It's got to do with kind of application, priming, and all those steps that I've talked about. So I'm taking my NARS Sheer Glow foundation. This is just my personal preference. You can use whatever you like at the moment. If you have any problems with your foundation transferring, never ever ever go in with it on your finger and dab it over your face, because you're going to apply too much product in certain areas, not enough in other areas, and that is one of the main problems or the main reasons why it's transferring or fading, because it's different all over the face. I'm going to take a beauty blender. This is my holy grail product for applying foundation, because not only does it apply an even layer and makes it look airbrushed, it pushes the product onto my skin and pushes my primer deeper into my pores so that this sits on top of them and not sinking into them, if that makes any sense. So I've left my nose blank, I just haven't applied any foundation to it. So I have the foundation on the back of my hand like normal, and I'm just going to dab a little bit onto the bottom of my beauty blender, and I can see this is a tiny bit. And I'm just going to apply that to my nose and bounce it along my nose. Whilst going in, I always have issues with around my nose as well, the foundation wearing off in there. I'm just going to press it in there too. So I'm just going to take the tip of the beauty blender and a bit of foundation and just kind of apply it in there as well. And I am pushing it into the skin. This is also giving me coverage, and it's making sure that it's not going to transfer throughout the day. Actually, the more layers of foundation that you put on your nose, I find that it tends to move and slip a lot more throughout the day than just putting one thin layer. So I usually always make sure that over my nose and kind of over this part of my face, it's only like a thin layer, but enough to give me a bit of coverage. So if you find that because you've gone in with a thin layer of foundation that maybe you still have a bit of redness around your nose, maybe you suffer from that, then I would recommend going in with a concealer at this point. It's just like when you conceal underneath your eyes, you're now going to conceal around the nose. If this is not an issue for you, if you find that you don't need any more coverage, that there's no redness showing through, you're pretty happy with the coverage that you have, skip this step. Taking my Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay. This is a little bit lighter than my skin, but it doesn't matter. You can take a colour that matches your skin if you so wish. So I'm just applying that down the centre of my nose. Whatever you get a bit red, usually around the nostril area, you can apply some concealer in there. Tiny amount of concealer. I didn't go hell for leather with the concealer. And then again, I'm going to use the beauty blender. This is my lifesaver. Like I said, there's nothing else that compares to it, and we're going to use the round bit and just again bounce the product over your nose, just kind of making sure that it gives you that little bit more coverage that you might need. And then around the nostrils, I'm just going to take the tip of the beauty blender so I can get right in there and just press the product into those areas. And it's as simple as that. That's all you need to do. If you want, at this stage, you can apply a setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter, one of my favorites. You don't have to apply it right now. You can wait till the very end. But just if you want an extra fixing medium, you can go in with it now. Now I'm going to move on to setting my foundation with powder. I've let the foundation kind of sit on my skin for about 2 to 3 minutes before I'm doing this step, just to let it kind of breathe and settle into my skin before placing more product on top of it and caking. I'm taking my NYC translucent powder and I'm only going to set my nose with this. I'm going to take it on my beauty blender. I just find this is a great technique at actually getting it to set the area and stop the foundation from budging as well. I'm just tapping that onto the nose and just around the nose area. You do not need an awful lot of this product, so just work it in. I recommend using a translucent powder because it's not going to add any coverage or colour to the area. And then don't forget the inside of your eyes as well, where your glasses might be rubbing off, to just set that area too. Okay guys, it does not get much realer than this. You can see across my nose that there is not that many pores. The foundation is pretty set on there, and it won't budge throughout the day. So before I do my final step, I would normally have my entire face like contoured, etc. So let's pretend I do. But the final step to make sure that your nose doesn't transfer or that your foundation stays on your nose is to set it with a setting spray. I already spoke about it, is the Urban Decay All Nighter. Do not go crazy with this, and do not apply hairspray to your face. When I was researching for setting sprays, I saw people were saying skip on them and just buy hairspray. No. There's an awful lot of chemicals in hairspray that are not suitable for the face. They'll clog pores, they'll cause even more problems. So I'm just going to use something that is suitable for my face. Keep it kind of a little bit far away from your face. You don't want it right up in your grill, and just kind of spray it evenly throughout your face, making sure to focus on the nose for at least one spray. That is basically all you need to do. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to everybody who Snapchatted me the day before yesterday, and thank you so much for all your requests. I am so excited about this new series. I really hope that I can, answer all of your questions. Any requests, please leave them down below. But if you do want to get in touch with me at all anytime, then definitely contact me on my Facebook or on my Twitter. They're kind of the best platforms that I'm getting back to people at the moment. Snapchat's kind of all over the place right now, but I will welcome any comments that you leave on Snapchat too. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope this was helpful and informative, and I will talk to you guys very soon. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.